turn the dishwasher straws on.
Who's first snorkel visit today? Oh my gosh, like 70%. Sometimes people say, I didn't find any straws, but remember there is a lot of us here, so even if you get one straw, multiplied by the amount of people here, that's a lot of straws, okay?
I found out about the strawkle through Harriet, who was the brainchild behind it. And one day her and her partner Woody, they went down to Manly Cove just for a snorkel and came out with a ridiculous amount of straws that just the two of them collected. Harriet is a massive environmentalist, graphic designer, she's a go-getter.
I think what Harriet Spark started here in Manly is fantastic. She's always been like one of the pioneers when it comes down like to ban straws or like to reduce or ban plastic bags or reduce plastic in general. I think I've learned a lot from her. Like we used to work together and organize beach cleanups, and what she started with strawkling in Manly, absolutely brilliant idea, and like the movement what she created for that, fantastic. So strawkling definitely thumbs up. Yeah.
I started this movement last year. I've been working as a dive instructor and a graphic designer, which is a weird combo, for about the past 5 or 6 years. So I've always been involved in environmental movements and organisations, but last year is when Operation Straw really kicked off. So I used to work at the aquarium, and we used to go snorkeling down in the water all the time on our lunch breaks and after work, and we would find hundreds of plastic straws. And one time I chucked a photo of these straws up online and it went viral, and that led me to believe that if people were so shocked by this one photo, imagine the impact we could have if we collected data over a more consistent period of time, and that's how Operation Straw was born. At one dive clean that wasn't a part of Operation Straw but was here, they collected 450, which is just phenomenal. It's a huge number. Marine animals ingest plastic really easily, and that's one of the major issues with it in our oceans. Plastic never breaks down, it breaks up into smaller and smaller pieces. So every piece of plastic that ends up in our ocean could often be in there longer than we're on this planet. The most common that we find is like the long black straws that you often get at bars, and then the short black cocktail straws. They're hard to pinpoint where exactly they're coming from because lots of businesses use those kind of straws. But the one that we can see the most obviously is McDonald's straws. They're the third most found here, and we find lots and lots of those.
The favourite part is about taking people on a journey from what seems like an insurmountable problem to what are really easy, simple actions that everyone can do that can change and make a positive impact. So whether it's working in a high-rise office tower or whether it's working in a little suburban childcare centre, it's about taking people on a journey and showing them what simple steps can make big changes. So there's a whole range of things you can do. So you can start by recycling all your office papers at home, all your bottles and your cans and your plastics, using reusable coffee cups instead of disposable coffee cups, taking a reusable shopping bag instead of a plastic bag.
The subject matter they paint in is animals. It started or is stemmed from the fact that I grew up on a farm in New Zealand. So I was surrounded by animals all the time. We had about 10 dogs, sheep, a couple of cows, 3 horses, 3 cats. So I kind of feel like I connect with animals a little bit more than I do with humans. Art and animals has always been my 2 passions. And then I went to Canada after a year of traveling around the world. It was just an amazing experience. So I came home from that really a lot more passionate and realizing that animal portraits is something that I just wanted to do, and I've been doing them ever since.
Have you found any?
Straws?
Yeah.
Not so far, but heaps of plastic. We have banned plastic straws around 2 years ago now. We replaced them like in the beginning with paper straws, but then we thought it's not really an alternative neither, so we got metal straws. The idea came from a friend of mine back home. He had a bad accident and sits like in the wheelchair for 4 years now, and he wasn't able in the beginning like to drink through a glass, so he needed straws, and he got pretty annoyed by like using so many plastic straws a day. So he ordered himself like glass straws. So we thought like it would be a good idea for restaurants as well. So we adopted it and ordered them online, and feedback has been great ever since. When I moved to Australia and started working here as a restaurant manager, I thought it would be great to like give something back to the community as well, because the beach is one of our biggest assets. But most of the waste what we find at the beach is actually like from us as well. Takeaway straws, takeaway coffee cups. So if we're gonna like start changing something at the beginning of the chain and like get rid of plastic as well, like completely.
Social media has been hugely positive when it comes to promoting these strawkles. We have Facebook events, we share what we found on Instagram, and that's been a really integral part of getting the community engaged with this project.
My thoughts on the environment and what people are doing to it are sort of sometimes a little bit, I go in waves of like a depression and then an anger and then a positivity, and then it's definitely a wave. It goes up and down. More people are learning about what steps they can take to reduce their effect. So I do have hope, and just by sharing and everyone doing their own little bit and then telling their best friend or telling their mum or telling the person on the street, we're slowly moving to a better place. So I'm hopeful.
Poppy leg. That's cute. Everything that's in the shallows there. I did that whole lap over there.
Yeah.
Alright, does anyone want to have a guess how many straws we found this morning? Someone yell a number.
72.
102. No. 379. 10. We found 221 straws this morning.
Bad.
And the most straws we found were 40 of the long black cocktail straws that we always see when we go to bars and cafes. And then the second most was the shorter black cocktail ones, which come in our gin and tonics. And then the third, as always, is McDonald's. So the 17 of those. Thank you so much for coming down today, guys. It's a pleasure and a really great way to start Saturday.